Good morning. This is Brenda Meller, and I'm here today with a LinkedIn profile audit for Johnny Woods. And Johnny, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. Looking forward to jumping in and giving some recommendations based on your LinkedIn profile. Now, before we do so, Johnny, could you take a minute and tell us a little bit about you? What do you do and who do you help?
I am a relationship and communication coach, and I say it that way because I really believe that to have healthy relationships, you need to be talking to one another. And then, so what I focus first and foremost on is communication, but what that looks like isn't necessarily how you say things, but is it in tune with who you are as a person? Or is it in tune with your self-awareness and being accountable to your actions and learning to grow through communication to build better and healthier relationships?
Oh, great. So do you work with individuals or businesses or who's your
Um,
audience?
I do both. I want to be on site in a company and work with them as they learn to kind of navigate the different pain points that teams go through as they kind of learn to work together. And so I want to do that so I can give them the skills to take those in into all their other relationships outside of work.
Okay. You said I want to do that. Is it something you're doing now and you're looking to get more client work, or are you looking to shift and pivot your work?
No, I have done a couple companies already, and I want to keep building my portfolio of people that I just love to help.
Great, wonderful. And I'm going to start sharing the screen here now so we can look at your profile together as we're having the conversation. And I always like to start, Johnny, with are there any specific questions you're looking for answers on as it relates to your LinkedIn profile, or are you just open to some general feedback?
I would like to be better at explaining what it is I do in less, because everyone tells me I need an elevator pitch. And so I'm like, I don't know how to do that with everything that I say.
Yeah.
So if there's something in my LinkedIn that you can help me with, that would be great.
Okay, good. So we'll focus on how do we get that story out quickly. And there's a couple areas of your profile you can do that. First thing though, in the prep call, I kept calling you Joni, and you said my name is actually pronounced Johnny, and I so appreciate you pointing that out to me. And there's actually a feature on your LinkedIn profile called name pronunciation. Have you heard of that before?
I haven't.
Okay, so it's on your mobile app, and I'm not sure if you have your phone in front of you. If you want to pull up your phone right now, and I'm going to narrate this process because there's going to be people watching this on video as well as in the podcast that'll be published later. So navigate to your profile on your phone on the LinkedIn mobile app. And
Okay.
then once you're there, click on the gray pencil icon that's in the white area in the top right of your profile, right below the header bar. And then once you're inside, it says edit intro at the top. Are you
Mm,
there?
Yep,
Scroll down and underneath first name, last name, do you see the field that says name pronunciation and it says add audio recording?
I do.
So if I were you, I would highly recommend doing this because of the fact that it does look, Joni, typically spelled Joni, and you're pronouncing it Johnny. So
Mhm.
that would help your audience. And also, a little pro tip on here, you get 10 seconds. It will not take you 10 seconds to say, "Hi, this is Johnny Woods." You can say, "Hi, this is Johnny Woods, and I help organizations with conflict management and team training." So you can get a little sound bite inside there, keeping in mind that you only get 10 seconds in total, and the space is called name pronunciation. So you should start with, "Hi, this is Johnny Woods." So we want to make sure that we cover that in there.
Okay.
Good. All right. So a little bonus tip for you. So, couple areas, if you're trying to make sure that people understand fairly quickly what you do once they land on your profile, I'm going to give you three areas to look at. The first is your header image, which is that rectangular block that sits behind your headshot photo. Someone once referred to it as the headboard on the bed, and I thought it made a lot of sense because it's like right behind you over there. And this is a space that is really can be used more for marketing your business, more as an intentional space. So instead of just listing the name of your business, Journey Coaching, what I would recommend for you is that you have some brand elements in here. Maybe there's some brand continuity between the colors and fonts and what you have on your website or imagery or things like that. But rather than having Journey Coaching fill the entire space, what if we were instead to have some type of a one-line description of what you do, or a rhetorical question looking to help your team with conflict management, or looking to help your team improve better, like a question that's speaking directly to your target audience, alternatively like a brand tagline or something that's explaining to them what do you do and what are the problems that you help them solve. Thoughts on that?
That sounds great. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, good. And I always like to treat that header image like a billboard on the side of a highway and change it out, at least once a year, but even better would be once per quarter. So maybe you have different messages that you test out in there, or there's an upcoming event that you're speaking at, or a new product offering. Sometimes it's seasons based on your business, looking at offsite retreat for your leadership team. Like maybe there's different products that are relating to time of year that you could work with in, as well. But because it's such a visual area, I like to make sure that we're making very good use of that space in there.
Okay.
Good. Okay, so next thing is your headline. And the headline, when you mention the elevator pitch, I like to think about the headline is very similar in that this is your chance to introduce yourself to people. And people will see your headline, Joni, as they land on your profile, but also as you comment on posts, as you reply to other people's posts, and even as you come up in search results. And LinkedIn will give us up to 220 characters for the headline field. And I'm an opportunistic marketer. So if LinkedIn gives me a field that I can use 220 characters, I will use as close to 220 as I can. But I also think about the visibility of the headline, and the part of the headline that really follows you around is the first line. So as it starts to wrap to the second and the third line, people will read that when they get to your profile. So it's really important that our first line of our headline is compelling, and it speaks to who do you help, what do you help them with. So when I heard you give your description earlier, I wasn't hearing you saying I help companies who are in conflict learn to communicate. I heard a little bit of the learn to communicate with each other, but I
Mhm.
think some of it honestly is just practicing, Joni, getting comfortable with how do you explain yourself, or listening to when you're describing to people, sometimes they'll kind of say, oh, so you help people with, so they're kind of replaying it back in their own words. And that can help to refine it a bit. Now, when I see I help companies who are in conflict, I'm thinking, are you helping one company work with another company, or are you helping teams who are in conflict within a company? Clarify that if you could for me.
Help teams that are working together inside of
Okay.
one company.
Okay. And is it certain types of teams? Is it sales teams? Is it leadership teams? Is it
No,
international teams?
it really just depends on where the conflict is at. So it could be like part of the management team, or it could just be a difference between a manager and one of their employees. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
there's not a defining one there.
Okay. So you could, think about maybe just changing that instead of I help companies. I help leaders solve team conflict issues. And then to what end? To improve productivity and your bottom line. So think
Okay.
about, and I don't know what the path is for you, but it's not just solving the conflict, it's solving the conflict so that they can what? And learn to communicate with each other. That's a nice thing, but like how does it tie back to the business, to the bottom line, to their business goals?
Okay.
Okay. All right, great. And then one other part of this as it relates to that elevator pitch, or you're telling your story, is your about statement. And LinkedIn gives us 2,600 characters for the about statement. And I always like to say, if they give you 2,600, like use them. But I really want to think about what appears in that previewable area at the top of your about statement. And if you have your phone with you, Joni, can you look at your about statement on your phone and just, tell me where it cuts off? Like, what's the last word that you see on the mobile view versus on the desktop view?
The mobile view, it cuts off at with a holistic approach that integrates.
Okay, very good. So I want you to focus on the previewable area in the about is the most important, similar to the first line of the headline is the most important. The previewable area in the about is the most important. And it's about 4 lines on desktop and mobile. On mobile, it wraps quicker because it's a narrower view of it. But I really want you to focus on, and this might help you too. I want you to think about your about statement is not really about you. It's about you as it relates to how you can help your target audience.
Hmm.
And you can certainly include, and you start right now with, I'm a multifaceted professional renowned for my experience with relationship. Like that's good, but I would think that might be like the third paragraph. The first paragraph is, are you struggling with team conflict? Is it hindering your productivity and profitability? I work as a leadership coach to help teams with blah, blah, blah. Contact me at email address or website to learn more. And then maybe second paragraph, and I'm looking at your company name, is about your company. I created Journey Coaching or I created Journey Coaching because, what's the why with how you created the business. And then our products and services include, and you might even put a bulleted list, one-to-one leadership coaching, team workshops, corporate retreats, like list out what those products and service offerings look like. And then maybe the third paragraph is about you. I'm a multifaceted professional renowned for my experience in relationship coaching. How
Okay.
does that feel to you?
That feels good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. And I certainly love to use the 2,600 characters they give us, but I really want to think about the human element. When people land on your profile, most people won't click on see more and scroll down. They're just going to read the first few lines in there. And right away, they're trying to figure out, is this person somebody that can help me with whatever it is I'm seeking? Or if one of your posts brought them back to your profile, they're trying to figure out, is this the type of person I want to connect with?
mhm.
And some people visiting and viewing your profile are potential clients, looking for your services, and others might be potential new connections who could be referral partners. So we really want to make sure that what we have in that about statement is clear to them. And also there's some type of a call to action, because if they're not yet first level connections, they're not able to see your contact information on your profile. Okay. How does that sound to you?
Sounds great. It helps. Definitely helps.
All right, good. I'm going to give you one final tip. We were focusing the profile mini audit today really on getting that sound bite for the elevator pitch. But one other thing I noticed in your profile at the top, we have your location noted as Ann Arbor, Michigan. Now,
Mhm.
do you work with clients only in Ann Arbor? Are you working throughout the United States and Canada, throughout the world? Like, what's your geography that you're working with?
I really only considered Ann Arbor right now, but that's just because maybe I was thinking small. I don't
Yeah,
know.
local geography. So here's what I think about if you go inside your top header card and you do this from your view of your profile, there's a gray pencil icon at the top. You can actually do this from your mobile app as well. If you click on that pencil icon, you can scroll down to the location, and where you have typed in your zip code and then it says Ann Arbor, Michigan, there'll be a drop down right next to that. And instead of Ann Arbor, Michigan, I might suggest you select Metropolitan Detroit instead. That
Oh,
broadens the reach. Now, Ann Arbor actually is a pretty well-known town. Thank you, University of Michigan, for putting us on the map, right? But
yep.
there may be people outside of Michigan, outside of Metro Detroit, outside of the United States even, who are looking at that and saying, Ann Arbor, where is that? But Detroit's a pretty well-known city. And the other thing that happens is it broadens your radius for search results. So right now with Ann Arbor, Michigan, that's the pinpoint for the center of searches. So as people are looking for leadership coaches or corporate training or whatnot, you'll come up in searches closest to Ann Arbor. But if you put metropolitan Detroit, you'll actually come up in more searches locally here in the area.
Okay.
So a
That's
simple little thing to do. All right. Any final comments or any final questions, I should say, as we wrap up our conversation today?
no, all that sounds so good. Although to be fair, I'm glad it wasn't a super mess.
No, yeah, not at all. I always look at these sessions as here's just a couple things that you can work on. I don't want you to walk away feeling like, oh my gosh, it was terrible. You have a profile to get started, and these are just some simple changes that you can do to make. One last thing I want to tell you though, company page. Do you have a company page yet for your business, Journey Coaching?
I don't. I just have
Okay.
my company website.
Okay, I would highly recommend you set up a company page on LinkedIn. I'll send you a blog and I'll include it in the resources below for others who might be interested. It's free to set up a company page. You will get the opportunity to upload your logo. And then next to Journey Coaching at the top, instead of this gray avatar box with the blue symbols on it, you'll actually get your logo. And then once that's linked into your experience section, it would show in the top of your profile as well as down here as well. And then it gives you another place that you can post information about your company and share information about your company. Also creates some legitimacy for your business so people look at that and they know that it's a real business, it's a real full-fledged operation. Okay.
Great. Okay, that's perfect.
All right, awesome. And Johnny, for people who are interested in connecting with you, are you open to them visiting your profile and connecting? And if so, do you have any instructions for them?
I'm open to it and I don't have any instructions. Should I?
Some people will say, tell them that I heard you on Brenda's podcast because I don't accept connections from people I don't know. And other people will say, read through my profile for it's really personal preference. And some of my guests will say I only connect with people I know. So, but
Okay. I want to know
Yeah.
everyone.
I'm kind of the abundance mentality. The more people we connect with, the more people that we can help. But certainly for those that are listening or watching this, if you were to personalize your invitation and mention that you heard Joni on my show, could definitely help because then she'll understand where you found her from. So there you go.
Yeah.
And for those that are on the podcast, it's Johnny's address on LinkedIn is linkedin.com/in/Johnny Woods. It's JONIWOODS. Johnny, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure getting to know you and learning more about your business.
Thanks.
All right. Looking forward to seeing your updates and thank you again for watching.